Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. So, as we said, we're going to look at the Schumacher Cougar Classic. The two I've got here, this is basically built purely as kit. This is one that's been hopped up a little bit, and this is the one that we're mainly going to be going through. So, as you can see, they are looking completely different now. So we'll put this one aside for now. If you're interested, the signatures in there, Cecil Schumacher and Robin Schumacher kindly signed this for me when I was at the revival event this year. So we'll put you aside for now. So, pretty low on the ground. At the moment, we're racing indoors on carpet, so you don't need the ride height. We haven't got big jumps at our indoor track, so run it as low as you can to the ground, really. The tyres are silver compound at the moment, but they really do wear quickly. So I'm hoping I can still get it to perform as well on silvers. I've made a few little changes to the last time I ran this. But at the moment, we're running LR Productions carbon fibre. They're a company that I found on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description to their Facebook page. The initial part that I saw was the chassis bracing system. So if you can see on here, basically you've got a little carbon rod, comes out, goes under a post, and it does help to stiffen up that back. Those of you that run and race Cougars will know the issue. Those of you that don't know the issue, basically the chassis at this point, you get a lot of flex, and it will eventually sort of like start to bend, and you will notice a significant bend up at the back. Will this help it? I don't know. I've only run this car twice, I think now. Once at Nemo Raceway, once at our local track on carpet. It's once we move back outdoors, that's when it'll really get tested. So the battery is now running centrally along the chassis, same as how it was back in the day when everyone ran these. On the front shock tower, it's actually got drop down adjustment, so on the shock you can actually step it down, like on your modern cars where they've got the holes drilled really close together. This drops down and you've got 4 or 5 adjustments that you can make on there, so you can get a real good setup, giving yourself the droop that you're going to need if you're on bumpy tracks. And if you're running on smooth flat tracks, you can bring the front shocks all the way up, and that will allow it to sit lower down and not give you as much droop. The one on the back, it's the same again. You've got 4 adjustments on the back, so you can swing the shock out, so you can either have it more stood upright or get it laid in a little bit more. But I like it. The last time I ran it, it went well. Just my driving, I need to improve my driving, but that's really not going to happen. So I'm happy with the way the car's going. In the hands of a better driver, this would probably be an awesome little car. So this car replaces my old Cougar. So this was built about 3 years ago, and this was the stage that it ended at. So as it stands, it was, I think, a Cougar Club 10. I can't remember exactly. Period electrics in it. I wanted to see what it would go like with period electrics, and a little incident with it staying on full throttle, full speed into the curb. The front of the chassis was bent up a good 45 degrees. I'll just get the body shell off. So as you can see, we're running the Re chassis. It was great that they were readily available. Meant that I could just order a brand new chassis, get the car sorted out again. So going through from the front, obviously we've got the big bore shocks. A lot of people will still run the original shocks, and they're very good. Through Muzu Model Sports, you can get Teflon inserts for the pistons. They work really well, and you've got varying hole options as well, and you can even get a blank one. You can drill your own holes in there to how you want them. I've got little standoffs on the front shocks, so rather than them sitting right back into the shock tower, these are now a little bit further out forward. It's, in my opinion, it's just something that should help the shocks operate, because they're now actually pushing through up and down, as opposed to having that slight little bit of layback. Whether that affected anything, I really couldn't say. Again, an expert driver would be able to test them both and say, yes, it made a difference, no, it didn't. No ball race steering. It's not something I think you really do need on the Cougars. It's pretty free. Well, this isn't as free, but it's been sat a while now. Carbon fibre, lipo mounts, holders, the alloy nuts. On the back, we've got the big bore shocks again, and a Cougar 2 rear shock tower. This is primarily just for the fact that it gives you a lot more adjustment on the back. You've got 6 holes, you can move the shock up and down, you can get various ride height changes, lay the shocks in, lay the shocks out. And then on the rear bulkhead, again, those of you that will know the Cougar 2, you've got more adjustment in the back there. So on your original Cougar, you've got your 2 holes, you've got your inner and your outer. With these, you've got 3 holes, and then you've got another set of 3 holes higher up. Again, that gives you a little bit more adjustment. It's something I'm learning about the car setup now. I never really used to pay a great deal of attention to my car setup. So long as the car was easy to drive, that's all I wanted. The rear hubs, Cougar 2, again, they changed the hub design on these. I believe these were a little bit stronger, so everyone sort of like started running these. These were, I think, on the Boss Cat as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe that they were on the Boss Cat. Your Pro Cat has the original ones that the Cougar Classic comes with now. And again, you've got an extra hole you can adjust out on. And that's probably about it, really. Oh, Pro transmission, obviously. That's in there. I haven't got the alloy eccentrics. I thought I did have them on this, so that's one thing that I did forget to put on. But yeah, it's served me well. But now that we've got the re-release, I initially bought the first one and it was just going to sit on the shelf with a box art body shell that I'm still waiting on at the moment. I'm a little bit slow getting the body shell off. So now this has been retired, it will probably get run again at some point. But I don't really need it as a daily runner because I've got the new one now. We'll just put you back to one side. So yeah, so the new one, basically this has got all the electrics out of my old Cougar. I'd normally leave electrics in, so the Pro Cat, I've got the new Pro Cat, I'm waiting on Pro transmission, so that's to come. The current Pro Cat that I've got will probably keep its electrics, just purely for the fact that I've got a couple of Cougars that I can take to race meetings, so if I ever break anything, I can get it fixed, and they're relatively easy to work on as well out of the box, these cars. The Pro Cat's a little bit more difficult, so sometimes you don't have the time to repair your car between heats. So yeah, stole the electrics out of my old Cougar. So we're running XR10 Pro ESC. We've got the 10.5 turn brushless motor in the back. This one we do have Pro transmission with alloy eccentrics, and you can probably just see just up in here we've got alloy bearing holders on both sides as well. Those are off Kevin Fenrich in Facebook. They're really good. I've got them in pretty much most of my cars that I run now that I'm building. Benefits, I don't know if there is a big benefit, but to me, you've got bearing sat in there. It's going to get heat, build up. Obviously, the plastic one could warp, misshape, anything. So for the sake of putting them on while you're building the car, I just banged them on. So yeah, so this is the car. Euromasters, those of you that haven't heard of the Euromasters, basically that's happening in the UK for the first time next year. It's in the back end of February 2023. 2-day event. I think the Friday it's like an open practice. Saturday you've got your 2-wheel drive and trucks, I believe, and then 4-wheel drive you've got your Sunday you've got your 4-wheel drive, sorry. So this is my entry for the Euromasters, which is why I'm running this now, trying to get it set up for a carpet setup. I'm not really great on the carpet. I don't really know how the car should be set up, so I've spoke to people, as you do. If you're really not too sure, ask people in the vintage scene. Anyone will help you out. Set up, spares, advice, anything. They'll just, yeah, this is what you need to do. So I've got it set soft. I don't know if that's wrong, don't know if that's right, but when I ran it last Sunday, it went all right. Better driver could have probably won the race with it, who knows. So there's not a lot left to do on this car. I'm not going to go to the same extent I went with my last Cougar. I'm not going to replace the rear bulkhead, purely for the fact that I want to try and keep some originality in this one. And the rear hubs, again, they are as they come. Front shocks, got a slight bit of standoff. I haven't got as much, but with these, they're actually on a ball, so there's a lot more movement up in those front shocks. So the way I look at it is that they're not sort of binding. There's no chance of them binding. The front is nice and free. It goes down, comes back up nicely. One other little bit I forgot, sorry. You get with this kit, you get a front little brace, ties up the 2 front arms. You can still find these on eBay and places like that. I've had a couple made in carbon fibre for various cars. To me, it's just something put on and hope that you never need it, just to keep the front end in place. But the cars that I run without the front, I've never had an issue with those either. So yeah, that's it. A few little scuffs on the chassis, but she's a runner. So if there's anything else you'd like to know about the car, and keep your eyes peeled as well. Obviously I've got the Pro Cat coming, I believe at the start of December, so in a couple of days time we should know if the Pro transmission's back in stock. Hopefully it is. As soon as I find out it's in, I'll be placing an order, and then I'll be going through the Pro Cat build. I won't do a full build video, I'll just do a few little tips, my personal tips. You don't have to use them, but if you've got a Pro Cat and you're going to be building it up soon, have a watch. You may find it useful, you may find it unuseful. Let me know. And also this car, let me know. Is there anything else you want to know? Anything you've feel that I've not covered on this video? Like I say, it was just a quick video just to go over this car. I've got another Cougar which I'll go through at a later date. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe. It really does help me out, helps the channel grow. I'd like the channel to grow. I'd like to think that some of you people out there want to see the builds, follow the racing progress. So until next time, cheers for checking in. Cheers, guys. And I bet you haven't recorded.